have let it known that they would love to get a little bit more celeb inspiration in their decor. So, Shai, we thought, how are we going to do this? Let's help them out. Let's get a celeb. Who are we starting with?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I've heard of him.
Heard of him?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's a favorite of mine. I mean, I really like him. He's done a lot. He's been through tons. He's a real kind of guy's guy, but he's also really down to earth.
Right.
So, you know, we have some visits. I think he's fantastic. I mean, he's so, he really loves to give back to the community. He loves the environment. He's big about the environment. Big on that. And that's really going to bring me to our first point. So the first point is know your celebrity. Who is Leonardo DiCaprio? What do we know about him? He's young. He dates models. He dates models. He actually...
So many.
He dated a friend of mine. I say friend. Friend, I use that term loosely. But for Raffaele, he dated a friend of mine. And I didn't find anything juicy about him. She didn't tell me anything. So I don't have anything to share. Well, maybe not on camera. But yeah. So what do we know about him? He's young. He's fun. He's hip. He's very much about the environment. And he has a really good sense of style.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. So let's pull up the picture of his living room now so we know where we're getting that inspiration from. He has a beautiful home. It's very palatial.
Yes.
There are many design features in there that we're going to mimic in here. And let's start with the one thing that you really need to know about, and that is going to bring us to our next point, is what is the overall design influence in the space? Point number 2. So we look at his picture, we see the overall design influence is mid-century modern.
Yep.
Mid-century modern can be very expensive because it's such a hot trend. So you know us, we want to do it on the low, keep it real and make it accessible for everybody. So we went to IKEA. Everything here is from IKEA except for the fireplace, which we'll get to in a second.
Very nice.
But really reasonable. IKEA has stepped it up. It's colorful, it's young, it's fun. What is his layout? So he has 2 sofas facing one another. He has a stone wall. He has the colorful furniture. What we've done here is we've done a little bit differently. So for us regular folk that don't have $20,000 to spend on a sofa every other day when we've decided we want a different color, we went with the neutral grays in the sofas.
Yes.
But what he did was he had armless sofas. So that's really important in interior design because it's really drawing your eye up to the focal point wall here, and it's not impeding on your sight lines.
I also like the perfect symmetry. Like you see in that shot, there's something about it that everything's symmetrical. You got 2, you've got 2, and it's all leading up to this.
Exactly. So, you know, there's balance and there's symmetry. When we talk about symmetry in particular, that's a little bit easier to do because you're just basically mirroring exactly what you've done. Easiest principle to follow. The fun color furniture that we have over here really kind of speaks to the fact that he's young and he's fun, which brings
personality.
and brings to point 3. Choose one feature in a space and copy it exactly. So that's going to make it really easy to kind of have that same feeling. When I look at the picture of his living room and then look at this space here, I see the symmetry and the balance and the layout is exactly the way that he's done it. So even if it wasn't the same coloring, even if we didn't have the same pieces, there's still a nod to the fact that that's the way he's done it. So I see that connection.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about also find ways to save. So this is really important, tip number 4, find ways to save. He has a beautiful stone wall, which is river rock, and going back to kind of that idea of him being an environmentalist and not really wanting to manufacture product, you know, it's likely that they went out and found the rock in nature, kind of where he lives in California, and did it on the wall. But that's a really expensive thing to do. So instead, we went to Poster Jack, and we got this mural made, which can be color corrected exactly to the coloring that you need in your room. And it really, from afar, looks really real. I mean, you come up to it and you know it's a mural, but that's okay. We're saving tons of money. And if you're looking for the look, but you just want to, you know, be able to save a little bit money, maybe you're doing this in your basement. Maybe you're doing it in a kid's room. Maybe, you know, you don't want to invest too much on it, and it might be something you want to change in a year down the road. Maybe a year down the road, you're like, I don't like him anymore. I like Tracy Moore. I'm going to copy Tracy Moore now. So, you know, we want to be able to change it easily, right?
And the other thing you have to think about when it comes to leaving less of a footprint is that sometimes spending less is better for the environment. When you can get an option like this that is going to be, you know, easy to install and low cost, it's not such a bad thing. It also adds instant warmth to the space.
100%, and it gives it that added depth, added dimension that you wouldn't have it without. And you know, and then we've mounted this great electric fireplace by Hearth Manor. Now he has the gas insert, or it could be a full wood burning stove. That's really expensive. Gas inserts are very expensive. This is electric, a really great look. I mean, electric fireplaces have come such a long way since their inception. They are streamlined, they're modern looking, the flame looks great. Really like that, so that's by Hearth Manor. And then finally, the pieces that we actually chose shows here. So he has an oversized coffee table. Oversized coffee table tends to be quite
lovely.
expensive. We've taken two coffee tables from IKEA and put them up together.
Nice.
It's modern, it's clean, it's contemporary, looks fantastic. And the colorways that we've pulled up, again, he had, he had purples and yellows. We chose that one color and copied it exactly, which was the yellow. But the purples, which was in the sofa, a little bit too much for a sofa, especially when you're investing in larger pieces. Went with the grays, continue that in the beautiful rug. You see the pattern down here at the bottom. And then flanked the fireplace as we draw our eye back up again onto the focal point wall. He has two windows to the sides of the wall, and then he has built-ins done under it. Again, IKEA.
You don't have to go with built-ins. Nope. You can go with a standalone piece.
Absolutely, and it gives it that same look, has the same function. Perfectly done.
I love it. I love the fact that you can have about 25 supermodels on that one chair. Like 25.
Can you imagine how many we can have on here?